Okay guys, so many of you have been requesting my Gamesir settings, so I'm just going to go through today and show you guys everything in my Gamesir software. So first thing, the report rate here, I use 1000 Hz, so this is just the highest, it gives you the lowest input delay. So yeah, I just put this on the highest. I know there's an 8K version of this controller, so if you have that option, you can go and put it on 8000 Hz. If you use this controller on Xbox, I believe it will be limited to 250 Hz, so you can't have it any higher. And then these are all my other settings, so we'll start with the buttons. So this controller has 2 paddles and then 2 extra buttons on the top as well. So all my other buttons, all the normal buttons, I've kept the same. And then for my 2 paddles, I have it on right on the D-pad, which is my jump bind in Fortnite. And then my right paddle I use as A, which is my sprint button in Fortnite. My left bumper at the top is set to B, which is my crouch button. And then my right bumper at the top is set to Y, which is my pickaxe. So this just makes it so I can do all these actions without taking my thumbs off the thumbsticks. So it's just really helpful in a game like Fortnite where you have so many controls that you need to use, and if you don't have extra buttons or don't play claw, you don't have the same control. And you always have to take your thumb off the thumbsticks to click these face buttons usually, but when you use extra buttons like this, it just makes it 10 times easier. So here are my stick settings. So for my left stick, I have the initial dead zone on 10 and then the maximum dead zone on 50. The reason I have this on 10 and this on 50 is because you don't really need to be too precise with your left stick since it's just for movement. And the sticks on this controller are really sensitive. So 10 on this software doesn't feel like 10 in your game settings. And then 50, the reason I have this on 50 is because it just takes less movement of the stick to reach full sprint. So this just makes it way easier to move. It just makes you move faster, it feels more responsive, so that's why I have it like that. My anti-dead zone, I just have this on the default. Curve adjustment, I have this on linear, so this just feels the most consistent for me. Stick trajectory, I have this on circle. I'm not sure why anyone would want to use raw, but yeah, I just use circle. Joystick resolution, I have this on the highest, so this just makes it feel as smooth as possible. Having it lower, you probably won't notice too much of a difference, but it just ensures that you have the smoothest movement possible. Then this is my right stick. So the dead zone's a bit different, and then all the other settings are the same as my left stick. So the reason I have it between 5 and 100 on this one is just because your right stick's responsible for aiming. You're going to need to be precise with the right stick. So having it on 5 just gives it a bit more precision, just makes it feel a bit more responsive. And then obviously on 100, it just gives you a bit more range of accuracy. And then yeah, all the others are just the same as the left stick. These are my motion controls, so I haven't used these at all. I'm guessing this is gyro, where you move your controller to aim. I haven't touched it at all, so you probably don't want to copy these because I don't know what any of these are. Okay, so here are my trigger settings. So I think I've kept everything default here. So initial dead zone 0, max dead zone 100. Anti-dead zone, initial 0, max 100. Curve adjustment I just have on linear, and then hair trigger mode on off. I've kept these the same for both triggers, so no changes there. And then with the trigger stops, I don't actually use them. So in Fortnite there's a setting, I think it's called trigger release, and I have that on 5%, which is the lowest. And all that means is that when you release the trigger just a tiny bit, even without trigger stops, it will register that release. So I use edit on release. So if I just press my trigger the whole way down like this, 100%, and just release it a tiny bit, it's going to confirm that edit. And I just find it easier to just press the triggers really quickly without trigger stops. So you can use the trigger stocks if you like. I used to use them, but I've just found it much easier to play without them on. And these are my vibration settings, so I just turned everything off. I don't use vibrations. I also, in my game settings, I've turned vibrations off, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's about it. And then yeah, I think that's really it for the settings. There isn't really too much else to go through. There's a these which I haven't touched on, so I don't know what they're about. And then yeah, that's about it. So let me know if you want me to make any other videos on this controller, if you want me to go through anything else, or if you just want me to make a completely different type of video, just let me know. And yeah, thank you for watching, like and sub, and yeah, peace.